Problem 1 on our reviewing division of decimals review. It says show a model and solve. So these problems specifically want us to show a model. So that means drawing a picture showing how we got our answer. So when we're dividing, we have two different things that we could be dividing for. So we will always have a total. Oh, it's because it's on the eraser. We will always start with the total, which in the dividend is the total. We will always start with a total, and we will either be changing that total into a certain number of groups. So that's where we're dividing into a certain number of groups. I could actually just make this a division sign. And then we are trying to find the group size. Or we are taking the total and we have the group size. So we are dividing it into the group size and we are trying to find the number of groups. When we have a whole number, we're dividing by a whole number. That means we have, in decimals, or when we're using decimals, we have the number of groups. So we want to find the group size. So this is what we have. We have the total. We have the number of groups that, what you might know as the hashtag. It's really the number sign, guys. The number of groups, and we want to find, that's a question mark, the group size. So to solve the problem, I'm going to start by drawing the total using drawings of base 10 blocks. So I have 3 holes, and for my holes, I would have just the base 10 blocks. If you actually have them, it would look something like this. There would be 100 little tiny pieces, but it's just the flat. So this represents my whole. My tenths, 9/10, are represented with lines. So if you can think of the base 10 blocks, the rods, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we don't have 10 though, we only have 9. So if you can think of the base 10 rods, they have 10 little tiny squares on them. So that represents my tenths. And I'm trying to divide it into 3 groups. So since I have my number of groups, I'm going to draw circles, or I could do squares representing those groups where I can move my rods, move all of this. I can move them all into individual groups. Now, I'm going to start with the biggest. I just so happen to have 1, 2, 3 holes. So that means I can put one hole, not H-O-L-E, but W-H-O-L-E, one hole, the ones place would be the hole. I can put one of the holes into each of my groups. Now I have 9/10. I'm just going to start by crossing out 1, 2, 3, and putting 1, 2, 3, one of the tenths in each of my groups. I'm going to do the same thing again, and I'm going to keep doing that until I'm all out of tenths. So now you can see I've moved all of my blocks, what represents the base 10 blocks, my 3 and 9/10, into 3 separate groups. I need to know the group size. Well, I can just count. What do I have in each group? I have 1 whole, then we have our decimal, and I have 3/10. So my answer is 1 3/10. My group size is 1 3/10. That's problem number 1.